Reporting live from the nation's capital, we have the latest updates on the legislative session and what this means for the country today.
What would you do if 37 investors told you your dream was worthless? Most people would walk away. Most people would accept defeat and move on. But one man turned those 37 rejections into a billion-dollar empire. This is the story of Ethan Carter, a man who went from sleeping on a mattress in a tiny apartment to becoming one of the wealthiest entrepreneurs in America. And the craziest part? His success almost never happened. Growing up in a small town, Ethan didn't come from money. There were no wealthy relatives, no powerful connections, and no secret shortcuts waiting for him. His parents worked long hours just to keep food on the table. While other kids dreamed about becoming athletes or movie stars, Ethan was obsessed with business. He spent countless nights reading about successful entrepreneurs, wondering how ordinary people could build extraordinary lives. But dreams are easy. Reality is much harder. At 22 years old, Ethan launched his first company. He poured every dollar he had into it. He worked 16-hour days, skipped vacations, and sacrificed everything to make it succeed. Then, after months of effort, the business collapsed. The customers never came. The bills kept piling up. The company failed. Friends told him to get a normal job. Family members worried he was wasting his life. For the first time, Ethan started questioning whether everyone else was right. Maybe he wasn't meant to be successful. Maybe some people simply weren't destined to win. But instead of giving up, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He chose to learn from failure instead of running from it. Every mistake became a lesson. Every setback became training for the future. So he started over. He developed a new idea and began pitching it to investors. The response was brutal. One investor rejected him, then another, then another. The rejections kept coming until the number reached 37. 37 people looked him in the eye and told him his idea would never work. Some laughed. Some mocked him. Some didn't even let him finish speaking. Imagine hearing no 37 times. Imagine being told over and over again that your dream is impossible. Most people would have quit long before then. But Ethan refused. He believed something that many successful people understand. Every rejection brings you one step closer to the right opportunity. Then, one day, he noticed a problem that millions of Americans faced every single day. Most companies ignored it because they couldn't see the opportunity hidden inside it. But Ethan saw what everyone else missed. He spent months researching, planning, and building a solution. Friends called him crazy. Experts said it would fail. But Ethan had learned that the biggest opportunities are often disguised as impossible ideas. When he finally launched the company, things didn't get easier. In fact, they got worse. Money disappeared faster than it came in. Employees quit. Problems appeared every week. There were nights when he sat alone in his apartment staring at unpaid bills, wondering if he had made the biggest mistake of his life. One evening, with almost no money left, he seriously considered giving up. Years of effort had produced almost nothing. The dream seemed dead. But instead of quitting, he decided to keep going one more day, then one more week, then one more month. And that's when everything changed. Customers started discovering the product. Positive reviews spread online. Sales began climbing. The company that had been fighting to survive suddenly started growing at an unbelievable rate. Investors who once rejected him were now begging for meetings. The same people who laughed at his idea were praising his vision. Within a few years, the company expanded across the country and then around the world. The struggling entrepreneur who once worried about paying rent had built a business worth billions of dollars. Today, Ethan lives a life most people can only dream about. Luxury homes, private jets, financial freedom. But when people ask him the secret to his success, he never talks about money. He talks about persistence. He talks about failure. And he talks about those 37 rejections. Because he knows something many people never learn. Success isn't built when everything is going well. Success is built during the moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. Every obstacle made him stronger. Every failure taught him something valuable. Every rejection prepared him for the opportunity that would change his life forever. So if you're chasing a dream right now, whether it's starting a business, building a YouTube channel, or creating a better future for yourself, remember this story. The people who succeed aren't always the smartest, luckiest, or most talented. They're often the ones who refuse to stop when everyone else gives up. Because sometimes, The only thing standing between failure and success is the decision to keep moving forward. And who knows? The breakthrough you've been waiting for might be just one more attempt away. Studio microphone fire.